This man was executed on March 7, 2025, after being convicted of taking the lives of his ex-girlfriend's parents in 2001. His execution was carried out by firing squad, a method that had not been used in the United States for 15 years. In this video, we will explore his crime, his last meal, his final words, and the details of his execution. Brad Sigmon and Rebecca Barber had been in a 3-year relationship and lived together, but in early 2001, she ended things and moved in with her parents. Sigmon, obsessed, began stalking her and insisting they get back together. The night before the crime, Sigmon took charge with his friend Eugene Strube, to whom he revealed his plan, to break into the Larka home, tie up her parents, and force Barber to talk to him. Strube refused to participate, but Sigmon went ahead alone. The next morning, he broke into the house and brutally attacked David and Gladys with a baseball bat, striking them repeatedly in the head until they died. He then stole David's gun and waited for Barber to return. When Barber arrived, Sigmon threatened her with the gun and forced her into his car. He planned to take her to North Carolina, but she managed to jump out and escape, though he fired at her as she ran. Barber survived and was hospitalized. Police launched a manhunt and issued arrest warrants for murder, kidnapping, and assault with intent to kill. Sigmon was on the run for 11 days until he was captured in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and extradited to South Carolina. Brad Sigmon's trial began on July 18, 2002 in South Carolina. From the first day, the prosecution presented overwhelming evidence against him, including the baseball bat used to take the lives of David and Gladys Lark. During the crime scene reconstruction, Detective Mike McNamara timed the distance Sigmon covered inside the house while attacking both victims. During the trial, Brad Sigmon displayed photographs of Rebecca Barber for no apparent reason, confusing those in the courtroom. During sentencing, Cheryl Tomberlin, Sigmon's ex-wife, testified about the domestic violence she endured during their marriage, reinforcing his violent history. The victims' relatives, including Darryl Lark and Renee Smith, also testified, describing the devastating impact the crime had on their lives. That same day, the jury sentenced him to death. As the decision was read, his mother, Virginia Wooten, broke down in tears, while Rebecca Barber watched in silence. Sigmon looked at her one last time before being escorted out of the courtroom. It has been 23 years since Brad Sigmon was sentenced to death. For over 2 decades on death row, he filed multiple appeals, but all were denied. Finally, his execution was scheduled for March 7th. Brad Sigmon chose the firing squad over lethal injection. His attorneys argued that he made this decision due to concerns raised after recent executions involving a massive dose of pentobarbital. While witnesses stated that inmates appeared to lose consciousness within minutes, reports indicated they were not pronounced dead until at least 20 minutes later. In 2022, South Carolina spent approximately $54,000 to construct a firing squad chamber inside its execution facility, located near the electric chair. Bulletproof glass was installed in the witness room, along with a chair equipped with a drainage system for blood collection, and a wall to conceal the shooters. Witnesses could see the inmate's profile, but not those pulling the trigger. The firing squad became an alternative after prison officials struggled to obtain lethal injection drugs. Even after a law was passed to protect the identity of drug suppliers, the new method remained an option. No South Carolina governor has granted clemency in the 49 years since the death penalty was reinstated, and Sigmon was no exception. Since 1976, only 3 people have been executed by firing squad in the U.S., all in Utah. The last was in 2010. Now, Sigmon will become the first prisoner to be executed this way in South Carolina. One day before being taken to the death chamber, Sigmon requested his last meal. Initially, he had asked for 3 buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken's original recipe, intending to share them with his death row companions, but that request was denied. Instead, Sigmon was served a more modest meal: 4 pieces of fried chicken, green beans, mashed potatoes with gravy, biscuits, cheesecake, and sweet tea, according to the South Carolina Department of Corrections. On March 7, 2025, Brad Sigmon was executed in South Carolina by firing squad, a method not used in the United States for the past 15 years. Sigmon was strapped to a specially designed chair and had a hood placed over his head. 3 prison staff volunteers aimed their rifles at his heart, and, at the director's command, each of them fired live ammunition. According to witnesses, the bullets struck Sigmon's chest, right above the heart. It was instantaneous, the witnesses commented. When the shots were fired, it was very loud, very chilling. I think, at that moment, everyone in the room flinched. There was only one place where I could see any damage, which makes me think the bullets were all grouped together. Sigmon was declared dead at 6:08 p.m., according to those present in the room. During his last words, Sigmon expressed his opposition to the death penalty, quoting 4 Bible passages that, according to him, showed that nowhere in the New Testament does God give man the authority to kill another man. Through his lawyer, Sigmon made a final statement of love, asking his Christian brothers to help put an end to the death penalty. "Now we are under God's grace and mercy," said Sigmon. Gerald Bo King, Sigmon's attorney and a witness to the execution, described Brad's death as horrible and violent. In a statement, he said, "It's unimaginable that in 2025, South Carolina would execute one of its citizens in this bloody spectacle." The execution was a deeply shocking event for all those present. Rebecca Armstrong, Sigmon's ex-girlfriend, mentioned in her first interview in the 24 years since the murder of her parents that Sigmon's actions destroyed her family. However, she pointed out that life imprisonment should have been the option for his sentence. Despite this, she expressed that she did not agree with his execution, adding that death should be something only God decides.